승부석 2.
Position and kill him with my +1 lings. Maybe I just win from there, but it was not the case. So Pet does go down 0-1 so far. The Foreign Hope sticking in it so far. We'll see how he does in game number 2 now, going into Frost for Neeb versus Pet.
프로스트로 떠납니다.
Here we are on Frost for map number 2, up in the top right. Winning that last one, the purple Protoss, it is Neeb.
And over here to the top left in green, his opponent, it is Pet. The Ling lover, making so many Zerglings in not only this series, but the series against Hero as well. I do feel that in that previous set, it was part of his downfall. It initially led to a very successful hold, and Neeb is gonna go 360 in this game and totally switch it up and go immediately into the Nexus first. Obviously, this is the map you want to do that on in this this pool of 7 that we have, so a smart choice here. Pet is going to scout this second.
Yeah.
It's obviously very important for him to get this information.
Pretty good luck so far on our 4-player map for Neeb. You know, just getting the immediate scout here to see exactly what Pet is doing, but also the fact that Pet sent that second Overlord in the wrong direction, or rather the first one in the wrong direction, second one in the right direction. So it's going to be a little bit later, as
But he
you
doesn't
said.
drone scout, so you know it's going to take so long for that to get over there. If the first Overlord had gone to the top right, he'd see the Nexus right now, but in fact he's not. So the second Overlord is going to head towards the natural. You're going to see the Cyber Core down. Actually commits to 6 Lings, so this could do a little bit of damage if he can get in there. Not going to be easy, and perhaps it's a little bit precautionary. Gets that Ling speed, continues to drone.
Yeah, probably precautionary. I mean, he doesn't really know what's going on the side of Neeb, so this would be around the time that you see those 2 Adepts you know, begin to be made and come across the map. So 6 Lings can also pressure a lot if he thinks, or you know, maybe he's assuming that Nexus first is pretty common build on this map for a Protoss. He can try to get over there and do a bit of damage.
Neeb did leave a probe over to scout this third base. He will see that he does not block it, but still scouting it alone is very powerful, and could support a push of Adepts across the map with that in some way. Pretty unlikely that that will actually happen, but in the past we used to see that sometimes with overcharges attacking the hatchery with Adepts. Not really meta anymore, but I wouldn't put it past him.
You know what's interesting?
Council immediately again.
What you see a lot of the time after a Nexus first is 2 gates come down to be safe, but also the pylon and the wall. And if you remember, Neeb, or rather Pet, actually did the builds here where he goes for the Baneling all-in to break the pylon in the wall, but Neeb is very prepared. He's like, no, I'm not putting my pylon and my wall against this guy. Like, I'm not putting that anywhere near the front when I'm playing against Pet.
Yeah, that's actually a great catch by you to point that out, because he's clearly preparing for Pet specifically. Pet is just making Lings, and more Lings here. On the attack, he's never going to break a wall. He will hold his third base with this, but his drone count will suffer significantly initially here. And there's nothing wrong with, I didn't expect this. There's nothing wrong with having a heavy Ling count when you're up against heavy aggression. In this case, since he's not, these Lings right now, imagine if they were just drones mining money. You know, they're holding a watchtower, which is seeing nothing. They have literally
could have had
no
one
value
there.
Yeah, they have no value in this game right now.
He picked off 1 Adept with 6 Lings. If he just stayed on 6 Lings and he was at about 45 drones instead of what he's at right now, as you were mentioning. And maybe Pet just identified the fact that Neeb was playing this very safe in terms of his wall early on. We saw Pet actually check the third base location first, and was like, oh, you don't have a third base, okay, but that was like way too early. That would be so greedy. Like, that's just never going to happen. So maybe Pat a little bit confused in this one.
Looks like he is going to send a drone down to take a fast fourth as well. I'm not entirely sure what that drone would be doing otherwise. Meanwhile, we're going to see Neeb take his third. The Prism is scouted, and he will have a lair. He's got plenty of lings. He needs to send them back, though. He's actually attacking with them right now, which denies the third base here for Neeb, which is quite significant. Now sends them back, I think, as he reacts here. We're going to see the warp in outside, and he will just need to react very quickly and grab an overseer. Already making one blind right now. And he's very prepared for the eventuality of this. In fact, he's just going to Archon.
Wow. You know what? I mean, we've been seeing this more and more often, and I'm not sure what tips Neeb off that Pet would be prepared for this. Maybe nothing does. Maybe he just did want to go for this Archon drop and have DTs as an answer later on. And when you're facing only Ling Roach, you can get such good trades with these Archons. And I'm loving the fact that we're seeing this more often. Protoss is kind of figuring out with that long distance pickup with the Warp Prism, you can keep these Archons very, very safe.
Yeah, it's like a new age Immortal drop. We used to see this sometimes with 2 Immortals just to harass and then do a follow-up push. And now with these 2 Archons, you can do a lot of damage as well and force more units to be made. Oh, just a little bit too slow there. That's really nice for Neeb. Unfortunate for Pet. We could have gotten a lot of value there. Hydro Ascend coming up here. Roach Speed actually committed to all the way with +1. So it looks like we're going to see Roach, Hydra, Ravager, obviously very strong on these positions, but not really what we've been seeing from Pet in this tournament so far, so kind of changing up his style a little bit here.
Queen doing a nice bit of damage to this Warp Prism, but the Archon's definitely getting a bit more damage here. Let's see how long Neeb wants to commit. Such a low Warp Prism, but you know, he gets so much damage on the opposite side. 9 drones go down, and he weakens a lot of those units as well, and he gets out alive, and that's what's most important.
Quick Lurker Den coming up, morphing right now. Neeb does not know about this, and that can allow a really powerful siege up of the third base. So finding out about this is going to be of the utmost priority for Neeb. You know, well, if he knew it was coming, that would be his utmost priority. But if he doesn't find out about this, this could really throw a wrench into his build here, because it's a quick transition to that. And I mean, normally we don't see this. I mean, this is almost like a rush to Lurkers. Basically, he's going up to it really fast, skipping even Hydra range. Probably going to be using almost no Hydras in his army, just getting as many Lurkers as possible. Every Hydra he can morph, he will be. And he's going to come over here and try to crush his army before there's a large Immortal count. These Archons are not terrible versus Lurkers, obviously, but they don't have a lot of range. And he's actually going to attack with this. He's going to do like a 2 Immortal, 3 Archon timing attack.
Charge did finish, so what he can do is just warp in about 7, 8 Zealots if he wanted to. It looks like he wants to get more Archons in the mix, warping in some DTs as well first off.
Yeah, you use all your gas on that, and then you drop the Zealots down. This is very similar to what we saw SOS do in the cross finals. Here we go. Guardian Shield goes up. 4 Archons in the mix here. Hydras do a lot of range damage, but these Archons are getting a lot of AoE value. More Zealots coming up, and they have charge. The Archons do not die. This push is so powerful, and Pet has to retreat.
Pet, I think, just underestimating this push a little bit too much. He said, oh, I got a lot of Roaches and Hydras. I can easily fight against that. No, even without the charge lots, the Immortals, the Archons doing so much damage to all these bio units. And Neeb now in position, going to warp in 6 more Zealots. He has control of that natural ramp, and now can begin harassing that third.
Hydras are really good against Archons. He just needs to finish them off. There's low on shields. I don't know exactly how low because we're not being shown, but if he finishes them off, the push loses a lot of its power.
One to go down. There's no more force fields. Drones being pulled here, but
he's just taken so much damage already. He's going to lose this hatchery. He's remaking a 4th right now. This push just has so much momentum right now. He couldn't make any Lurkers. He didn't make a single one. This Lurker Den is here, just kind of the awkward Lurker Den that was never used. And he's going to lose this base. I think he's just simply lost the game already. GG!
Neeb rolling him over in game number 2, making it look really easy here. And Pet, all those prepared builds he had against Hero, not really working against Neeb. Neeb, I think, is just playing it a bit safer and reading him a bit more often.